she's actually breaking the law. Genuinely think this is the opportunity that Keir Starmer has to get rid of her. And that's what we got. Government by midwits. Yes, I like that.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Nick Talks. This episode's returning an always amazing guest, good friend of mine from the Silver Fox Hot Takes on YouTube. It's the Silver Fox himself. How you doing, Foxy?
Hello, Nick. Yes, absolutely marvellous, matey. Had a good busy day, but all sorted. Getting ready for for Halloween now, and then Christmas. Get Halloween out of the way, and then it's Christmas, isn't it? God, where does the year go?
I don't know. So in a couple of weeks, do we expect Santa Claus and snowmen backdrop for you?
I've got a general winter one that's going to come up shortly, and then I do have a special which will go on over for the sort of the Christmas week.
Excellent. I'm going to have to put a Santa hat on one of my masks behind me or something. That's what I did last year. That's all I did. Um, every now and again, there's a story that I read the headline and I haven't got time or I'm not that interested in it. But then I think of you and I think of the Preston journalist, depending who I'm speaking to. And I think, oh, I won't read that. I'll ask them about that because they're bound to have read this and know a lot more than I do on this. There's been an article, I think it was yesterday, our beloved Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, seems to be a landlord now. She seems to be renting out her properties, and the papers are making it out she shouldn't be doing this. What's this story about?
Oh, Nick, this is a cracker. So let's start with first principles. First of all, the Labour Party are very much against private landlords. It's their policy; they want to get rid of them. There's about five or six Labour members of cabinet who rent out properties, so it's a bit hypocritical to begin with. But for one of them, Rachel Reeves, it's incredibly problematic. She's got several houses. She's got a portfolio, and one of her houses is in the very leafy and very pleasant area of Dulwich in London. And she's got this four-bedroom detached house that she rents out for about £3,500 a month or so, if memory serves, something like that. Dulwich is a Labour-controlled council, and the irony is not lost on me on this one. They brought in a landlord registration scheme where you have to be registered, you have to have an inspection, you have to prove that the property is up to snuff, as it were, health and safety, good, supply, regularly gas checked and things like that. And she didn't do it. And she's been renting this property out more or less the entire time she's been Chancellor. And if you remember, she said that she's very attention to detail, detail oriented. Nothing will get past her apart from £100 billion of black hole money that she hasn't got a clue with. And it seems the registration of this house. She's actually breaking the law. Now, this is a woman who's given us all punishment beatings on tax and is likely to put property taxes up in this budget. Well, it's Torsten Bell's budget, but she's going to be the one there standing there mouthing the words. And for her to sit there and break the law on properties, and not forgetting, of course, that Angela Rayner had to resign for breaking the law over properties, and then stand there and then punish us with taxes, it seems a bit hypocritical to say the least. But I would suggest untenable as far as her job goes. How can she, a woman who's going to be taxing us on property, not pay the registration fees on a rental property to a Labour-run council? You couldn't make it up. Now she's going to probably get a fine. She has apparently applied for the license, and she'll have to pay the license fee. But this council has in the past fined people for late registration and things like that. Now, if they don't fine her, well, it's two-tierism again, isn't it? And if they do fine her, then she is, by being fined, admitting the breaking of the law. How can the Chancellor remain Chancellor if she's breaking the law? She's got to go. And I genuinely think, this is the opportunity that Keir Starmer has to get rid of her without it reflecting badly on him. This could be his moment to crowbar her out of number 11 and put in someone worse, unfortunately. But at least someone who didn't lie on their CV, and someone who can basically count would be nice. I mean, you don't need much. The civil service do most of it, but the ability to count would be an advantage, I think, and that's something we don't have with this one. But yeah, she's completely untenable. She's got to go.
Doesn't this Labour government now have what you would call a reputation for having ministers who mess up under their own portfolio? So we had the corruption minister who's being investigated for corruption in Bangladesh. We had Angela Rayner portfolio for house building, who's not paying tax on the house she's bought. We've had, and I can't remember what the other one was, but now we've got Rachel
No,
Reeves.
there was the housing minister who made people homeless.
Yes, that was the one. Yeah, housing
And then,
minister.
of course, you had Louise Haigh, the transport minister, who had to go after having a criminal record for stealing a phone off a train, I believe it was. Um,
Yeah, well, that was her phone. She put a fraudulent insurance
Fraudulent
claim in.
claiming, yeah,
Yeah. That's what she did. And now we've got the Chancellor, who's created 100 billion black hole in a year, is now coming back for more taxes off us, and is breaking the law with her rental property by not registering. Yeah, I mean, this government is really is it's a house of clowns, isn't it? It's a clown show all the time. They can't seem to get through a month without one of the ministers making a huge gaffe, and these are personal huge gaffes.
yeah, yeah, all the time, and it's almost as though nobody in the Labour Party has a clue what they're doing. They've had 14 years to prepare for government, and all of a sudden it's gone. Oh my God, we're in government! Panic stations! They're running around. I mean, honestly, they need to dig up the corpse of Clive Dunn so he can run up and down himself, going, "Don't panic, don't panic. They don't like it up them." you know. But it's just that they're just going from disaster to chaos to crash and burn on a daily basis. I mean, it's great for us, Nick. I mean, good God, how many YouTube videos are we getting out of this rubbish? But it's not good for the people.
But isn't part of the problem not only that they're in opposition for 14 years and should have been planning but didn't? Isn't the real problem that they're all ideologues and they didn't think they had to come up with plans? They didn't think they had to be clever, because all they've got to do is implement this wonderful ideology that they've been told is fantastic. And they're beginning to find out, they won't believe it, but they are beginning to find out that it doesn't work and everything's.
Socialism is rubbish. Yes. They thought they'd walk in and go, wow, we're socialists now, and everything would go, yay, and we're all happy to be socialists. But we're not, because socialism is not the human way. The human way is not. When the Berlin Wall came down, nobody was running into the east, you know? They were all going out that
The
way.
Berlin Wall was put up to stop people under socialism leaving. That's how great socialism is. You've always got to build a wall to keep the people in socialism.
Yeah, and they just thought everyone would be thinking we're the virtuous lot, and they're not, and they're awful, and they're starting to realise how bad. I know all they've got to do is look at the polls, mate, haven't they? I mean, I think the last one I saw was Labour and the Tories were on 17%, the Greens were on 16%, and the Lib Dems were on 15%. It wouldn't take much of a swing from a few Labour voters to either the Greens or the Lib Dems. Labour could be the fifth party of government, or fifth party of parliament, I mean. And if the SNP pick up sixth, you know, I you could I'd wet myself. Honestly, I couldn't hold it. I'd just be wetting myself with laughter if that happened. I mean, it would just be great, and I'd love to see their little faces as the returning officers in 3.5 years' time. It'd be 2 o'clock on a Friday morning, and we're sitting there watching the returning officer go, "I'd like to," blah, 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 blah," and whoever it is, and you're watching all these faces of Labour ministers, Labour cabinet ministers losing their seats, and you're just thinking, what are they going to do? Because they haven't got anything else in their lives. They're all dumb. They're all stupid people. They've got no skills. They've got no experience. What have you done? I was a bag carrier for a politician, then became a politician. Great. What are you going to do now that you're not a politician? I have no idea.
We are in flux at the moment, and with all these parties, anything can happen over the next 2 3 years. Anything could happen.
Oh, stand by for action.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, reform could crash and burn. It's a possibility. The Tories could elect a real leader and they could explode back in the polls.
They'd have to get Jenrick in, wouldn't they? Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah. The Lib Dems or the Greens could be the new left party. They could, anything could happen. You'd be foolish to bet on something at the moment. But let's end on this. So Rachel Reeves has messed up, not registered that she's a landlord, potentially broken the law, gonna get fined, and she may not survive. If she doesn't survive, who replaces her?
I've always said the most likely one would be Wes Streeting, possibly John Healey. But they're the two. They're the two that I think would probably get it.
And do you think them two are just as bad as her?
I think Wes Streeting would be worse because he's got literally no experience. I think Healy would be better because Healy's been around a bit and he knows. And he's not a stupid man. Don't like his politics or anything, but he's not a stupid man. And I think he would take advice from the civil service without the arrogance that. I'm just going to put an aside here. I think one of the problems with Reeves is that she's arrogant because she's stupid. She knows enough that she thinks she knows a lot. Um, the Kruger-Dunning curve with how much you know. I know a little bit, and this is what I think I know. And then I learn a bit more, and then I realise I don't know anything at all. Then I learn a bit more, and now I'm back up here again. Well, she's at the bottom of the Dunning-Kruger. She knows nothing, but she thinks she knows a lot, and that gives you arrogance, and then they don't listen to people. But I think John Healey would listen more. He knows he doesn't know.
Yeah. There's a new trendy term for that, and it's called midwits. It's people who are slightly more intelligent than the average, usually been to university, got a degree, and that piece of paper makes them think they're Einstein. And suddenly they think they know everything, but they're only slightly more intelligent than the average person, a midwit.
A midwit, yeah. And that's what we got. Government by midwits. Yes, I like that. Yeah.
So, what do you think will be the outcome of this for her? Do you think this will be untenable for her? Do you think most of the public will not understand this and just think, oh, she didn't get a license, it's fine? Because I don't see how I don't think this is a big issue for her. I think it's embarrassing, but I can't see it being career destroying.
I don't want to commit. I don't think this will break her. But I do think it gives Starmer the option. And if he went for it, I don't think anyone would blame him. It wouldn't look bad on him if he got rid of her and said, right, you're going to have to go. If you get fined, you're going to have to go. And I think he could use that, get rid of her, and it wouldn't be him making a bad choice. Oh, I should never have had her in the first place. It'd be, she's done this to herself. She's screwed up. She's got to go.
Yeah. So if he wanted rid of her,
This would be the ideal time.
but he could make this untenable for her. He could set the backbenchers on her. He could leak stuff to the press. He could make this a bigger story than it is, so he can get rid of her. Yeah, politicians, oof, none of them have got any morality at all. They'll
They smile and look you in the eyes as they're stabbing you in the back.
exactly because we all think. Well, I used to think the chancellor and the prime minister would always be best of friends, and as I grew up, I realised no, they hate each other
They usually hate virtually every politician hates every other politician.
because they're all in competition to be top dog.
Yeah, it's a greasy pole.
And when you get top dog, you hate them all because you know they all want your job. Foxy, as always, thank you so much for coming on and explaining the new mistakes from our Chancellor, Rachel Reeves.
Always a pleasure, Nick, and always a pleasure speaking out for you. So, to all you people at home, thanks for listening this far. Bye.
See you later.